Second sutra says,
Knowledge is bondage.
knowledge is bondage. To know too much is hell.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance does not exist, only knowledge exists. Great knowledge is called ignorance. When you know a lot, then you are called ignorant. There is nothing called ignorance. It is just your knowledge which stands between you and the truth, and hence it is called ignorance. Never think that ignorance exists. Only knowledge exists. And an abundance of knowledge is called ignorance. You will never meet an ignorant man. You will only meet a man too stuffed with knowledge. And he will be the most ignorant man you can ever meet. That is why it is being said that knowledge is bondage. How does this sutra show up in our daily life? Knowledge is bondage.
Because we see everything with that knowledge, which is social things, and only one way of thinking, and not being open to what is the facts, because everything is.
Do we see that we want to convert everything into knowledge? Would you continue to love somebody or anybody if you lose all knowledge about him or her? Knowledge is memory. Knowledge is past. Knowledge is all the shared moments and attachments. If you lose all of them, if all that memory is wiped out from your brain, would you still continue to return to that person?
Not if your love
don't
was
know.
conditional. Not if your love was conditional. No.
We don't know.
But if you have unconditional love, yes.
I'm not talking about ifs. I'm talking about what would happen. So even that which we call as our love is knowledge dependent, memory dependent. No memory, no love.
No, not true. Not true. Just a minute ago we were talking about a child getting beaten. You would intervene and you would feel love and compassion in your heart for that.
Continuing this example itself.
Sorry?
Continuing this example. Here on one side is your own child and you have knowledge and memory of that. There on the other side is the child of your sworn enemy and you have knowledge and memory of that. To which side would you go to save? Oh, not true.
No, I understand what you mean. But what
Yes, yes. So even our
created a different situation.
this situation is life. These decisions are life.
So
Our own child is warm in the blanket and the child of the beggar is shivering outside. Do we give them the same treatment? I'm talking about life.
No.
Do we give them the same treatment?
No.
So even our love is
Conditional.
conditional. Who are we to talk of unconditional love? There was a news report. A mother was with her newborn child since an year. After almost an year, the hospital informed her that her child had gotten swapped with another child. Now for this 1 year, she had been showering this kid with all the so-called motherly love. The moment this knowledge comes to her, that her own biological child is somewhere else, she drops this one and fetches that one. Now is the love conditional?
yes.
Of course.
Is the love not dependent on body, memory and knowledge? Who are we to say anything about unconditional love?
We don't know it about. Mind doesn't
Our
know
limited
it.
mind can't have this experience.
Yesterday we were singing songs. He sang something that pertained to his nationality. They sang something which came from their national language. He sang something which came from his language. His language, his context, his memories, his attachments. Do you really feel that same excitement when some other nation's national song is played? Who are we to talk of unconditional love? But not only do we not know what is unconditional love, we also have knowledge that unconditional love is great. And because we want to believe that we are great, so we want to believe that our love is unconditional. You see how knowledge operates? We have the knowledge, some book told us that true love is unconditional. Now I want to believe that my love is true. So I'll insist that my love is, and all of this is coming from knowledge. The sage is advising, knowledge is bondage. Can you please operate a little free of all that which you know, of all that which has accumulated within?
There should be some scientific way to let it go.
And science is all?
No, I'm not.
So there must be a knowledgeable way to get rid of knowledge.
It's not so. I don't think people are so intelligent like Ashtavakra, like Janak. They will drop things.
When Vasugupta or Ashtavakra states something, he states only to someone like himself. To be even more accurate, an Ashtavakra speaks only to Ashtavakra. So when he is saying this and putting these things in your hand, he is absolutely certain that the real you, that the only you, is as intelligent as the expression of these sutras. So never for a moment say that it is beyond us, that we are too small in front of it. If we are too small in front of it, then we have no business holding it in our hands.
So real consciousness, realizing itself as consciousness, intellectual ways are good. But I know that what you are saying for
He knows, and knowledge is
Bondage.
please know a little less. You said that you doubt. Please doubt first of all yourself, your knowledge.
How to know less, because every day we have experiences and it gets storage in the memory and we accumulate more and more.
Yes. And right when it is happening, see and say that happened once again. It happened once again. Darkness, when seen, remains darkness no more. Because if it is truly dark, how you would have seen? See, accept, acknowledge, and all too quickly, all too subtly, all without thought, all without calculation, all without bothering for consequences, all very unreasonably and madly.
But it's happening if life manages it. Not manage. Life manages it.
Otherwise there would be losses. Otherwise,
Life manages it very slyly.
what do you mean by life manages it? You are the manager and controller and doer. Aren't you?
I have the same question because I don't get like how really to do that. Like let's say I'm in India. Every day I walk in the street and I see that the people in the scooties that they kind of horn when they pass by. So now after a few days I have this imprint in me that in India that's the way it's happening. That's a new knowledge. That's a kind of conditioning in a way.
Yes.
How I prevent myself from absorbing that?
That knowledge is there. Now what do you mean by its absorption?
Then it means that
You too start
when
honking.
also when I come to India I expect that to happen.
So you expect that to happen. That is still knowledge. That will happen. Whether or not you expect. But what do you mean by its absorption?
I probably will be surprised if it's not happening.
And if it is not happening, then you feel something unusual.
Yes.
And you have absorbed it all the more if you yourself start honking
Yes.
unreasonably. Now, must that happen? Is it not possible to live in middle of disease yet live free of disease? That is what is meant by living free of knowledge. Because knowledge will come, eyes will open and see, these ears will hear, this mind will think. Information is streaming into you constantly from all sides. That's what these senses do. Now, is it possible that you are in a hospital where everybody is diseased but you are healthy? It is possible. It is possible. That is the spiritual life. To be in the thick of disease and yet be healthy. Yet be healthy.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I get it.
What we call as love in our life is absolutely conditional love. But the danger comes when we expect the conditional love to be unconditional.
Nice, very nice. So, if it is conditional, does it deserve condemnation? No. It only deserves acknowledgement. I am not a smaller man because this love is conditional. Of course, it is conditional. It is conditional. When you start labeling the limited as the limitless, it is then that you will miss out on the limitless. It is when you start labeling ordinary attraction as love, then you will totally miss out on love. So if it is conditional, it's all right. It is conditional. It is conditional. It is conditional. Full stop. Does it mean it is bad? Does it mean that I am a smaller man?
Most of us, yes.
No, not that, not that. So the spiritual mind resists itself from stepping forth and concluding. It says it is raining. It doesn't say it is awful. It's raining. It's just raining. It may even say it is awful, but then it doesn't absorb that awfulness and become awful itself. First of all, it would want to not to name the happening, and even if it names the happening, it will not internalize the name. Internal, there is only the Atman. When you internalize anything else, then you have covered the truly internal Atman with that which you have internalized. The only internal one is the Atman. When you internalize anything else, then you have made the Atman identical with what you have internalized. Now there will be confusion. Now there will be suffering. So never internalize anything. Let everything be here. Internally, just a pure void. A full void.